Hi, this is Rich. Welcome back. I just finished week 80 on taking weight loss medications. I just took this week's shot just a few minutes ago. So far, so awesome. It's been really good. And as you probably know, 5 weeks ago, I changed over from Wegovy to Mounjaro. I was on Wegovy for a long time, plateaued, started on Mounjaro, and I'm having a good success rate on using that. So pretty solid move at this point. I wanted to talk a little bit about the celebrations last weekend coming up, Christmas and now New Year's, and the slight modifications I've had to make because I'm taking these drugs, not just because I want to lose weight, but because these drugs, the GLP-1 medications, really change how your digestion happens, which impacts how you absorb alcohol and the impact of alcohol. So I want to talk about my experiences. I experienced it firsthand when I drank quite a bit on vacation last spring, and I've been careful ever since. So let's talk about it. So when you're on these weight loss drugs, or when I'm on these weight loss drugs, I find that alcohol hits harder and faster. That where one beer or one mixed drink might not have much of an impact on me, especially a guy of my size, it sure does now, and it hits hard and fast, and it kind of builds from there. So, it's unexpected, but it's the way it is. And when I had several drinks, I found that I was getting an upset stomach. That I thought maybe I ate something that was bad, or maybe got food poisoning or something like that. I had a really bad upset stomach. And I find out it's because that's a natural side effect of being on these drugs. The other thing is that I've heard that it really impacts your blood sugars. So I don't know much about that. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving medical advice, but it does have an impact on that. So if you're concerned about that aspect of that and alcohol, you really want to talk to your clinician. Second, the second to last thing I want to say is that even though I was drinking, and this was last spring, I was drinking a significant amount, and I was inebriated. I didn't have a happy buzz. I didn't have as much of a happy buzz. It seemed to diminish the funness of that aspect of drinking. Again, this is just me. You may have different results. And then finally, it really does the thing that you are excited about the GLP-1 drugs doing, is that it causes the food noise to come back. After you've been drinking all night, then you come home and say, "I want a pizza. I want to stop and get tacos." And even if you're not hungry, you do that. Well, even on this medication, it combats the medication's suppression of the food noise and it has it come back. So you're gonna. I found that I desperately wanted to go have a snack, or I wanted to go get a pizza. I wanted to do something, right? So ever since then, I've been very careful to moderate what I drink. I'm very slow in how I drink. I also Uber everywhere I go. I just don't know anymore what the ultimate impact is of drinking and how it impacts my body. I've known that for decades and decades, and now I'm kind of back to square one and kind of a newbie at drinking and how you handle this. And so Uber's the right way to go for me, or taxi, either way, or Lyft. So I'm not sponsored by anybody, by the way. If you want to be Uber, Lyft, call me. Anyway, that's just me. And so this New Year's, I'm going to take it easy and either not drink or have be very moderate in the way I drink. Take that for what it's worth. Anyhow, speaking of New Year's, I really think New York and Times Square, they really blew it last year. I was not impressed. I thought they dropped the ball. No, that's a good joke. I don't care what you say. That's a good joke. Uh, I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year's, and may all your problems last as long as your New Year's resolutions. See what I did there? And for those of you who are like, what did he say? I just wanted to wish everybody a happy New Year, and may all your problems last as long as your New Year's resolutions. Enough of that. How did I do this week? I did really well. I had a good Christmas. I had a really good meal. And then I had some sweets along with some bars and candies and stuff like that, and cookies, but not a lot of anything, which is really the trick, the test. I lost 6 pounds. I'm down a total of 110 pounds since starting this. I'm down, I think, 23 just since the third week in November after I switched to Manjaro. Feels pretty good. So we'll see you next year. I always like saying that. I'm like 6 years old. We'll see you next week.